Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome to another video. Holy moly, we got some breaking news. King Grifter is back. That's right, folks. Elon Musk, the chief executive officer of Tesla, of course, has officially sold 7.92 million shares of electric vehicle company Tesla, worth $6.9 billion with a capital B, ladies and gentlemen, according to six U.S. security filings shown on Tuesday. Apparently, those sales took place on August 5th, is what it looks like. And yeah, holy freaking cow, folks. That's where we're at here. Absolutely insane. And so most of you guys might remember, if we go to this tweet right here, Elon Musk actually did some selling earlier this year, sometime around April. And he actually made a tweet right here on April 28th where he said no further Tesla sales planned after today. Now, I guess I got to give him the benefit of the doubt. He didn't directly say that he wasn't going to sell. He just said no Tesla sales planned. Now, I have no idea why he's selling. If I had to speculate, I'm sure it has something to do with the Twitter deal. But either way, you guys know what's going to happen to Tesla stock tomorrow. Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead and sing it with me. Mother, she wrote. Mother, she wrote. Will Tesla finally go to $500? I don't know. Stay tuned for the next episode of The Stock Market. You guys want to know something that just dawned on me today? Like, I literally just realized that Cathie Wood and me, Kevin, are literally the same person. Like, I didn't even think about it until now. And let me tell you what prompted me to think this, right? So, yesterday, Cathie Wood bought about $60 million worth of NVIDIA. Right? Matter of fact, let me even go see what the price was. And I just found out from one of my, I guess my little insiders, who's in me Kevin's freaking course group or whatever it's called, that me Kevin bought NVIDIA as well yesterday. Now, I didn't even realize this, but it just started to really make me think like, wow, they really kind of invest the exact same way. They both like to buy speculative, unprofitable tech stocks. Like, that's really their thing. And I'm not saying that NVIDIA is unprofitable and speculative. Obviously, it's not. But my whole thing is that why would you buy NVIDIA in the 170s? Like, NVIDIA literally went to the 140s not that long ago, literally in July. Like, I feel like the 140s was the time to buy NVIDIA, and to be completely honest with you, I actually like NVIDIA, but I wouldn't buy it here. I wouldn't buy it at 170. I'd probably buy it in like the 140s or even lower than that. So it's just so crazy how similar me, Kevin, and Cathie Wood are. It's like, wow, both of them are just terrible investors. And also, I've said this plenty of times on my channel. The S&P 500 is still at 4,100. Why would you buy stocks at this price? Why? The market just had this crazy meme momentum rally. I just don't understand why anybody would buy stocks during the euphoria. Why would you not wait until the pain? Matter of fact, that brings us to the next segment. We have CPI tomorrow. The market could very well tank tomorrow if CPI comes out bad. I mean, you just don't know. And this CPI is actually more important than the other CPIs, in my opinion. I'll tell you why, right? So the narrative for the other CPIs was everybody kind of knew. Obviously, you never know for sure. But it was very estimated, considered that inflation was still hot. You know, most of the estimates kind of had inflation up there. This is the first inflation I've seen, the first CPI reading I've seen in a few months, where people are actually expecting it to finally go down. I think the average estimate is 8.7%. Now, the last one that we just had was 9.1. So if it hits at 8.7%, I wouldn't necessarily argue that it's going down necessarily, but it's definitely lower than the 9.1% that we saw on the last one. So that actually will be pretty significant, right? And yeah, I just don't know why anybody would buy stocks before that event. I personally would wait until CPI. Now, I know a lot of people don't agree. You got a lot of peanut gallery people in the comments. Buy the dip, bro. Dang, buy Coinbase. Huh? Like, and that's fine. People are free to invest how they want. I just strongly disagree. I think buying the dip is stupid. I've always said that. I think dollar cost averaging is stupid. Now, I made it very clear. Unfortunately, I'm going to say this, and I'm still going to get people in the comments who are going to say, well, just dollar cost average in the S&P, duh. And it's like, well, I say that every video. I want to make it extremely clear. I think that it is very wise to dollar cost average in the index funds, and I've never said that it's not. But dollar cost averaging in the individual stocks, especially when they're at price points that are considered by most to be overvalued is just not wise to me. Take 2021, for example, right? Now, obviously, you can make the argument that index funds are pretty high priced as well, but I would argue that even if you buy the S&P 500 at a little bit too high of a price, in the long term, you'll be fine. I mean, I trust the S&P 500 better than NVIDIA. Don't get me wrong, I like NVIDIA, but what's the safer bet? NVIDIA could always fail. The S&P 500 is just going to kick out the companies that suck, and it's just going to filter itself. That's kind of what it does. So that's just my opinion. You don't got to agree, but for me, I think one of the best lessons that investors can learn from 2021 is do not buy stocks too high. That is the mistake that I think we all made. Even some of the best investors got caught up in the hype, and we bought stocks that were just way too overvalued, and we bought the dip on those stocks that were way too overvalued. And my biggest worry is that I feel like a lot of investors just aren't learning from their mistakes. They're still caught up in this to the moon, buy the dip, buying stock. Like, I don't know why anybody would buy stocks here when the S&P 500 was literally at 3,700 just a few weeks ago. Like, I just cannot wrap my head around that. Like, you had plenty of time, like a month ago, to buy stocks. And now that the S&P 500 is at dang near 4,200 and freaking you got stocks like HKD going up 31,000% and AMC and GME being halted, this is the time you choose to buy stocks? It just doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't. Now, if you want to pull a Warren Buffett and you're buying something that you've done really thorough research on, I mean, I don't agree with Occidental Petroleum, don't get me wrong, but the bottom line is I'd rather buy Occidental Petroleum than some of the crazy stocks some of you guys are buying, So anyway, that's my rant regarding that. CPI tomorrow is going to be very, very interesting. We also do have PPI that also comes out this week as well, so be on the lookout for that. Let's go ahead and talk about Jeremy. Jeremy has had one of the worst years, probably of his investing career. Jeremy Lefebvre has had a bad week, no doubt about it. Palantir is one of his favorite stocks. God knows why. I've thought from the beginning that stock is trash. Now, if it goes to $3 or $4, I'll buy it, but I'm just not a fan of the company. They've been unprofitable for 20 years. Alex Karp, if you guys watched the earnings call, he was very standoffish, very rude. He's clearly upset. They've just fallen apart over there. Can we just tell the goddamn truth? They're just falling apart. Company sucks. Then Tattooed Chef reported earnings. Their earnings sucked. And what amazes me so much about Jeremy, right? It's not the fact that Jeremy's stocks go down necessarily. It's the fact that this guy is really surprised that his companies are proving exactly what everybody except for him already knows about his companies. They're hot freaking garbage. His companies suck. They're terrible. There's no other way around it. And his other favorite company, the Honest Company, H&ST, reports on Friday. I'm sure we could guess how those earnings are going to go. That guy's been getting wrecked, man, and he has no one to blame but himself. I mean, he's a terrible investor. He really is. If you really watch his videos carefully, and if you just read a freaking finance book or just an investing book, matter of fact, I got one for you guys right now. If you read this book right here, seriously, read this book. Just read a freaking finance book, okay? Read this, then go and watch Jeremy's videos. You're going to be like, wow, this guy doesn't know anything. He doesn't know how to read a balance sheet. He doesn't know how to read an income statement. He doesn't know how to analyze stocks. He doesn't understand. And it's okay to not understand, right? We're all learning. We're all trying to be the best investors we could be. But my biggest problem with him is he's got these courses, his little financial fortress, where he's coming off like a guru where he can teach you how to beat the market. Then there's all these allegations where when you called representatives, by the way, I've actually called his financial fortress before. I called his financial fortress sometime around when I first started my channel. I can't remember exactly, but sometime in 2021 I called and they told me that I could get like 30% returns, and I just laughed and it was pretty funny. And I only called just to see what was up. That was before I got into the whole talking about the YouTubers and exposing them thing. But yeah, I just called them just to see what was up. They told me what they told me, and I just said, okay, never mind. Because I never had in my head to join that garbage anyway. I just wanted to see what was up because I just thought it was funny. And what was interesting was they actually got upset with me when I did want to join their thing. This is a true story, guys. They actually were like texting me. They called me again. They were like really trying to push me to join his little financial sport. They were like, are you sure you don't want to do it? You sounded very interested, blah, blah, blah. Like, the guy that I spoke to, he just seemed a little upset. I'm like, I don't know what commission you're getting, but sorry, buddy, you're not about to scam me, But anyway, the bottom line is when you read any sort of finance book or just you start to get a handle on how investing really works and just some basic accounting principles, you know, you really realize how bad Jeremy is at investing, and then you start to understand why his stock picks are so bad. It's because he legit doesn't know what he's talking about. So it's like, okay, well, how did this guy get 700 subscribers? Well, one thing I'm starting to learn about YouTube, which is actually part of why I pivoted my channel. It's unfortunate, but in order to be successful on YouTube, the clowns, unfortunately, are going to be more successful because the YouTube algorithm pushes the people who don't know anything more. And the reason why is because their content is more entertaining than somebody who takes an entire hour to analyze a stock. YouTube wants 5 to 10 to 20-minute videos just with blah, blah, blah talk. That's all they want. Like news type stuff. That's really what YouTube wants, at least from what I've seen. Because I noticed my videos, when I talk about people or post about news, get way more views. The click-through rate is way better than the videos where I talk about a certain stock, you know, and that's just how it goes. And my main issue with them isn't necessarily the YouTube. My main issue with them is they turn their entire YouTube enterprise into a grift. That's my issue. Like me, for example, right? I know for a fact that I'm not a stock market expert. I know for a fact that I still have a lot to learn about investing, and that's why I'm reading finance books and learning as much as I can every day, because I know this. So I just think it would be very devious and malicious of me to build a huge following and trick my followers into thinking I'm a guru, and then start a Patreon and a Discord and a paid chat room and a freaking Financial Fortress course when folks like Jeremy can't even freaking read a statement. Folks like Larry Jones and Chris Sane, I've never seen them analyze a stock ever. That's what's so wrong with me. That's what makes it an issue for me. I don't have as much of a problem with them on YouTube. Now, I do think there's some responsibility. I don't think you should be on YouTube pumping bad stocks. And I think it should be very clear that some of these folks just don't know what they're doing. But, you know, what can you do? At the end of the day, these guys won. They still got cult-like followings. They still have people who do whatever they want them to do. And it's just the saddest thing ever, you know? It really is. But anyway, there you guys have it. That'll go ahead and conclude today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. See you guys in the next one.